What's up, GHOULS PBS? Alright, so we're back with part 2, the Fishtank video series. I guess I can call it that. Today, I'm basically just going to be going over all the contestants and kind of some of the narrative plot points of the show, some of the challenges they go over. If you don't want a brief recap on what Fishtank is, then skip to this timestamp here. But for those who are uninitiated, let's begin. So, Fishtank is a 24/7 live-streamed reality TV show that's kind of, I don't know, you can imagine like Big Brother X Total Drama X, I don't know, the fucking hell. It's basically a game show designed to torture the contestants, and where most reality TV shows, are a bit more sneaky with it, and it's more behind-the-scenes torture, honestly. This show, it's front and center. That's the fucking point of the show. You know what you're getting into. It's fucking wild. In the show, there are 10 contestants, and the goal, is to make it through all 42, or 41, days to receive the $50,000 grand prize. The main two rules of the house, besides whatever whims of the production or whatever the fuck they want them to do, are don't go outside and don't smoke weed. Besides that, alcohol is provided for the whole house, with the exception of, I think at the beginning they had one person who was like 19, so they were more restrictive and on the alcohol then. But then once the one underage person left, then it was just like, it was off the rails from there. Besides that, it's basically do your best to not go insane and listen to the production. It's run by Jet Neptune. He's the director, pretty much. He kind of plays the good cop / level-headed guy role. And then you have Sam Hyde, who poses as the host, and he's more off-the-rails, zany, plays more of the bad cop type role for the show. Within Fishtank, as an audience member, you can donate money to send TTS messages, basically, saying whatever you want over the speakers with some limits, but they let most shit go. And by most shit, I mean most shit. Like, it's gotta be some either insane shit, or it has to be, spoiling something, breaking the fourth wall, or snitching, or something like that. So, with all that out of the way, now that you know what Fishtank is, let's get in to our fish. Alright, so right off the bat, I want to go ahead and introduce our contestants. First up, we've got Taylor, the 4chan trad wife, I guess, who's also, pretty fucking racist.
You heard me say about fucking 50 times once the floodgate was open, dude. I'm not fucking afraid to. And also, him sitting there talking about his dead mom, I would not be fucking afraid to be like, oh yeah, at least my mom wasn't killed in a fucking drive-by. You fucking
But also tries way too hard to try to convince people that she's really alright. And she's really, 1488, she, Hitler moment. But really, it just seems like some pick-me shit where she's so desperate, she's trying to get people in that crowd of, space to like her or whatever. And it just comes off super desperate and kind of funny. Next, we've got Jimmy, the quote-unquote not schizophrenic guy who definitely is schizophrenic.
Fight me, I fucking dare you, you withering old
Hey, Neil Young, if you're watching, I just want to say that I really like you.
Jimmy also is definitely not a Nazi.
People, since the Bolshevik Revolution began, they were able to pin that all on the Nazis.
Yep.
There wasn't even 6 million. Just a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, there are even survivors that said, yeah, we were being fed at the camps, but then the Allies bombed the tracks, and that's when the starvation really kicked in.
Next up, we've got Summer. You got, you got your classic Hello Kitty BPT girl, She got the pink monster probably back at home, ready to chug, ready to go.
Now, Summer, you understand that swamp magic is the only recourse we have right now. There's literally nothing else we can do for your predicament except to practice swamp magic. Yes. And you understand that you are not legally entitled to hold the production company or any of the staff accountable If the swamp magic fails, it does not work.
Next up, we've got TJ, or Tomas, or whatever his other, alter egos were throughout the show, but we're just gonna call him TJ. He is the stim king of the show, constantly having autism moments, not being able to articulate himself completely, but also just being really wholesome.
Little did she know that I'd be here this late, and that friendship with me would have been some benefits. Things to be good. I want people to be happy. But she couldn't give a damn about that. And she didn't matter when my fucking Chris points were taken off. Chud, racist, incel bitches that keep trying to tell me that Shinji's the greater competition.
And he kind of went to be the protagonist of the show. Next up, we've got Cole. So he was originally kind of like the main character-esque of the show, but he let it get to his head, unlike TJ. Cole let it get to his head, and he broke, and he left the show, because he was, like, too self-aware of it, but also still a fucking blockhead. But his arc was really funny. He had, like, a detective arc and shit. It was nice.
Oh, no one's in there.
I want to hear moaning, you little shit sacks. Let's hear some shit, J.
Who is in there?
Ha ha ha.
It smells like weed.
Next up, we got our fucking boy, Shinji. Alright, Shinji's my man. He was my favorite throughout most of the show.
Oh, that's party foul.
There was also, I was really rooting for TJ and stuff like that, but Shinji was my favorite throughout the show, just because of just how funny he was, how much of an open book and honest he was. All the other fish were trying to play, like, mind games or conceal certain things. Shinji laid it all out there. I mean, he's a porn star, how could he not? Next up, we got JC. She didn't stay around long at all on the show. I think she was the second to leave. She didn't stay around long on the show, and she was not that interesting, but I think she could have played a cooler role, and I do wish she would have stayed around longer.
Pete, what are you hovering for?
Nothing, I'm just hiding here.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Take a hike. Fucking bozo. I'm telling a real story. Go in another room. Fuck off. This is an actual story, not some fucking bit, you dumb fuck.
We've got Brian, the resident fuckboy of the tank. He was immediately a target for the TTS, and for pretty good reason. He was the kind of fuckboy. But then he leaned into it, because, like, he felt like that was his best option, which made people hate him more. But then he, like, hated that people hated him. Like, bro, come on, you knew you were trying to play the villain here. And finally, we've got Megan, one of the least interesting, if not least interesting fish of them all. But hey, she's a epic Roblox gamer. I think she's a Roblox streamer, so she's one of us.
What's up?
Lock on this. So you'll dab this on your lips to stimulate the alcohol in your system, I guess, because it'll be good, and you'll be better for Santa. Yeah, you just keep doing that. Hey.
My patient sicker?
I guess the opposite.
What do you mean?
So Ben told me of a method of curing Megan's hangover. So I put a little vodka on the paper towel.
Get out of my
No, Megan, don't eat that. Megan, it'll be bad for you.
I'll bring you the thing. You better get out.
But I do wish she, I guess, tried to put herself out there and try to do a little more on the show. And there is one contestant that I haven't brought up here, but they also became a freeloader, so I'm just gonna cover them over there. Alright, so we're gonna do a little bit of a lightning round for the freeloaders, because we are 15 minutes into this video, and haven't even gotten done with fucking character introductions. So, boom, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alex. He's a right-wing commentary guy who is brought onto the show specifically just to annoy certain fish or make them uncomfortable. Allie. Don't really know if she's just playing a character or if she's really that way or a mix of in between, but she is the white drunk valley girl character. Period. Brittany. She was brought on the show almost as a foil for Jimmy. I doubt it was intended that way, but it sure as hell ended up that way. Fatty. Reoccurring freeloader from season 1. He has an online presence of his own. I'm not really that big a fan of him, but he definitely serves a purpose on the show, aka annoying and making the fish unfucking comfortable. Oh, and his freakouts.
You act like you've been chewing me this whole fucking time.
No, I'm not.
You're the one throwing piss on me.
Chris, I haven't.
You're the one that threw piss on me.
Even piss.
You're the one that put piss on me. Bitch.
I didn't put fucking piss on you. I told you it was zip.
I'm not trying to be psycho. I'm trying to move the character on from that shit. No, that's the thing. I'm tired of being asked to have this character. I'm tired of it. Because then it starts shit like this, dude. You think it's funny to discriminate against people with mental disabilities? I really hope you don't treat your father like this. I hope you give that man the utmost respect.
I do.
Because unlike Frank,
I do.
I don't want to go hands on.
You don't know how I treat my dad. And don't bring my dad into this, Chris. I could bring your mom into this, but I'm not. So f off with that.
Your father's not dead.
No, but your mom had cancer and was dying. It was not piss.
Yes, and Staff told me about whose piss it was.
And how do you know they weren't lying to you, dude? How do you know they weren't gaslighting you?
Dude, they are not.
How the f do you know they weren't?
They are.
How do you not know that you're the f***ing joke here? You're the joke. And they're using you as the joke. You're the butt end of the joke, Chris. They want you to they want us to f with you.
Shut up about your bigot dad. He's a higgler.
They want us to f with you, Chris, because of your reaction. You can't take it.
Delaney. Guanye. Pretty funny, he honestly brought a huge light to the fish tank when he arrived, got things kind of kicking into gear again when a lot of people were saying things weren't funny. His biggest characteristic trait is his laugh.
Yo, Trish, you got this. Fuck a dude who treats you bad. And that dog fucker who shit in the closet. Circumflex a motherfucker.
That's the dog fucker who shit in the closet.
Frank Hassel. Frank is the king of hassling. He will hassle you out of house and home, pretty much literally here. He is the biggest threat to any contestant wanting to win the fish tank, because Frank does not fuck around, and he has special privileges to fuck with the fish. Greg, or I guess as most people know him, the fake Mr. Beast, came onto the show initially as a bit, just to be the fake Mr. Beast, but ended up staying, because the host wanted him to break out of his fake Mr. Beast character and really, you know, become his own character.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Beast, how do I leverage CPM metrics to maximize my monthly overhead? My channel keeps getting locked in low CPM.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Mr. Beast, has your penis ever hurt really bad?
Sure.
So, here we meet Greg. We've got Nifty. Nifty's biggest contribution when it came to content was her sleeping. So back when we had Megan, she kind of brought back this reoccurring bit from season 1, which was the morgue cam, where, especially when Morrow was sleeping, he would just look like a fucking zombie, and people would just be in the chat watching them sleep and be like, yo, morgue cam. Nifty was the revival of that after Megan got kicked. And it evolved into Jet even going into her room and like playing sped up Minecraft videos. She was like, oh yeah, I want to watch these Minecraft survival videos, but like I don't got enough time, so like I watch them on 2x. And it became this reoccurring bit where they'd watch these really loud sped up Minecraft videos in bed while she's asleep. So it was good shit. We've got Oliver, and he's some guy from New Zealand who came up. He was kind of also a fuckboy type character, but I honestly liked him a lot and a lot more than Brian, especially with his whole Oliver Dollar pyramid scheme.
Huh? We're good. People can mess with me all they want, but I'm not gonna be a dick.
So you're not gonna do shit?
Nah.
So you're not gonna get any all of it all this?
Nah.
You're gonna miss out. You do know how much worth is in these, right?
Is a real world
Think about
currency?
Bitcoin, think about XRP, think about you know what that shit is, right?
Yeah, but I don't do that.
Dogecoin?
Don't do that.
Think about like the GameStop shit, right?
We've got Ty, our final reoccurring freeloader from season 1. He's honestly, I like Ty a lot. He's a G. He didn't stick around for way too long, but he was there for an alright amount of time, and I loved seeing him.
I know what Jimmy is going through. Being president isn't easy.
We've got Taylor. So she was the love interest of TJ. It's not entirely clear whether she was just an actor or if like it was, there was real chemistry or whatever. But, for the plot points of the show, she was TJ's love interest. And she was pretty cool. Besides being TJ's love interest, she seemed like just genuinely a pretty chill and, I don't know, pretty cool person. And then we have Trisha, the contestant turned freeloader. Honestly, she was one of the less liked fish on the show. I think she's kind of a mid-fish, but she was willing to do a lot of shit. So I will give her that. She was willing to do a lot of stuff, but at times definitely coddled, and there were contestants who were definitely willing to do more than her, hence her getting kicked off. That covers all the freeloaders. Mostly, there were a few people who were either not in the tank long enough, or I guess just deemed not important enough to put on this freeloader regiment. But we're gonna stick with this because this video is already long enough as is.